Hey guys, so I want to have a little bit of fun with understanding pricing across all these platforms, AI visibility platforms, and what's realistic, what do you really need, and what is the real cost of true doing SEO and monitoring your keywords as well as your AI visibility across all the platforms, right? So let's have some fun with this. To keep this completely fair, we're just going to type into ChatGPT um, for a local business. What is a realistic number of keywords uh, I should be trying to track? Okay, let's just see what it says. 20 to 40 keywords, right? That's pretty standard, right? It's pretty fair. I like what it said here, basic 10 to 15, 20 to 40. And anybody in SEO pretty much knows these numbers like the back of their hand. They know that you're not going to go into one website and try to track 750 keywords, 200, 2,000 keywords, right? That's just not realistic when it comes to local SEO or any SEO business, right? And the right now, local SEO is what Google's preferring as far as we're concerned, based on our research. And we've been doing SEO for over 20 years. So I just want to kind of have some fun here. So to make sure that this was fair, when it comes to the platforms, let's go with these numbers. Let's say we're going to go with the recommended 40 keywords. Okay, so we have our one website that we need to do SEO tracking for 40 keywords. Um, yeah, let's hop into it. So first things first, let's go with SE ranking, right? I have never personally used these guys. In my personal opinion, I do find them slightly confusing. I got 10 projects here, but only five of them can be tracked with generative engine optimization. You get a lot of keywords, 2,000 keywords, but okay. Again, I just my personal. We've never done 2,000 keywords on a single website, right? Maybe across many websites, right? But that's I don't know. I just to me, this just seems like a lot of noise in my personal opinion. And then they have all these upgrades and upsells. But so you're looking at one website, right? Because you can't just buy one website. So one website's going to cost you around $129, right? Give or take. I'm sure there's some specials and things out there. So one website for 40 keywords is going to cost you $129, right? And you have some limitations on AI tracking and stuff, and looks like a lot of different little nuances here. But let's hop into Ahrefs. Pretty standard. We've used this one a lot. Third payment plan, 129, you get five projects again, which means five websites, right? But kind of useless for us because we're a local business and we're only tracking our own website. So again, just a lot of noise. I got to end up spending quite a bit of money to track my one website. I get 750 keywords, which is great. But again, in my opinion, just a lot of noise, right? It sounds like a great number, but you're paying for a lot of stuff you're not even able really to use, right? You only get five AI prompts, and you only get to track across one AI platform. So five prompts, one AI platform, right? And then every user that I add, I'm going to have to pay another $40 for every user. So if I'm using me and my assistant, it's going to be $129 plus $40, right? Just for tracking my one little old website. Let's hop into Semrush. Okay, $139. If you're paying monthly, again, if you do the annual, you get a little bit of savings. But if you're paying monthly, $139. You got to pay, I believe, for extra seats. Yeah, every extra seat or every extra user, you add another $45 a month onto it. You do get 500 keywords, so a little less in the keywords than Ahrefs, but again, 500. We don't even get like we don't even get that big. Um, even on the aggressive SEO, 45 to 75, right? So again, it sounds good. It's like a bunch of noise. They they have a high monthly rate that's you have to pay for stuff you really don't get to use. Um, I could go through and there's a lot of little things here, little nuances. It's just kind of crazy. Um, so then we go into Vyntris, right? And we'll hop into Vyntris, hop into the pricing. Let's see, right? Inside of our pricing. They have a base of $29. We're going to track our one website so we can control how many websites that we're going to have. We're going to track 30 keywords, which fits right inside of our recommended. We can scale it up or down based on what we need. So we'll put that back to 30. I have 15 AI context. So if I care about AI tracking, I get 15 context phrases versus I believe Ahrefs was 5. I didn't even see how many for Semrush. I'm not sure. I guess we could go through and try to find it. Let's see. So I'm not really sure how many AI visible. Oh, here we go. AI visibility. Oh my goodness. Additional $99 a month to add on AI visibility. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're looking at the classic plan plus an additional $99. So you're looking at $139, I'm guessing, plus additional 99 per domain, and you get 29 prompts. Okay, 29 prompts. Um, so we'll leave this at 15. I think 15 is more than enough prompts for tracking AI. This is pin locations. Now this is pretty cool. I didn't see that in these two plans. They may have it in SE ranking. I didn't see that. Pin locations is where you can track at the neighborhood level, right? So at the neighborhood, if you really need to drill down into an actual specific neighborhood, you can do that. In this case, I'm just going to turn that off to kind of keep the pricing fair and on balance for what a local SEO company's going to need. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you want to track 3 different neighborhoods. Put 3 neighborhoods. Let's say I have 1,000, 1,500, or 1,300 backlinks. Be quite a lot of backlinks that I want to track. So, but here's the things: I don't care about Bing, so I can just turn that off. Don't care about Perplexity, turn that off. I don't have any YouTube videos, like turn those off, right? So, and these guys don't even offer YouTube, is my understanding. I could be wrong on that. But if you need the YouTube tracking, turn it back on, right? That's what's pretty cool about Vyntris is you're going to set your system how you need it and only pay for what you actually need. So you're going to be paying $22 for the scans and you're going to be paying a $29 base price, right? Now, let's say I have 2 websites. Knock it up. Maybe I have 2 websites, right? So now I'm paying $73, right? But realistically, if you're a local business, you're pretty much just going to have one. And notice that this price doesn't go up. Only your scan pricing is going up, right? So I can go up, I can go down, but this is probably a more realistic setup. Let's knock this down to 30. I don't know, 30, right? You can decide in Vyntris how many keywords you want to track, how many AI context you want to track, how many pin locations. If you even want to track pin locations, if you want to track pin locations for search engines. But now this is really cool. You can track pin locations for AI as well with Vyntris, which we haven't really seen on any other platform that we're aware of. We've seen some of the other platforms doing location tracking, neighborhood tracking for SEO rankings, right? Keyword rankings. That's this here. But this also lets you do it for AI. But if you don't care, turn that off. You don't care about that, turn that off. We're down to $44 a month, right? Which is way better than spending $99 plus $139. So you're looking at 99 plus 139. So you're looking at what is that? $148 or $248 a month for the same tracking that you're going to get, or not, different systems clearly, but the data, right, that you're getting. You're getting your Google rankings, you're getting your map rankings, your 3-packs, you're getting your Yahoo, your backlinks, your Bing, right? It's all inside here. Right, let's turn Bing back on for fun, right? So it breaks it down. So you're only paying for what you're actually wanting to track and actually wanting to use. So again, just for fun, to show you, things are fair. Most websites, 20 to 40, maybe 40 to 75, right, on the high end. But the bottom line is Vyntris is not going to charge you for things that you're not going to use. It's going to charge you only for the things you're going to use, and then it's going to give you extras, right? So let's look into the extras. Competitor radar. I think some of these have competitor radar. Competitor analysis. Okay, good. So they have it there. I'm not sure if they have it here. Probably. I mean, it's a pretty common thing. Um, yeah, I mean, you can spend time going through. I'm not going to waste too much time looking for competitor analysis. Let's see what else. We have a action flow. Now, this is pretty cool. So, Vyntris has tracking task management built into Vyntris, meaning that you can put all your tasks into Vyntris and it will let you task people, task yourself, keep track of all your SEO things that need to happen inside of Vyntris. So where a lot of tools say, hey, we need, you need to go do ABC, go make a blog, right? It tells you to do that, but it doesn't give you a way of tracking to see if that's done. Vyntris does. It has a full task management system built in, and that's, again, no extra cost. So again, you're paying less and you're just getting more, right? You're getting a task management system. You're getting competitor radar. You're getting visitor replay. Now, this is really cool. They don't have, I know these guys don't have it. They don't have it and they don't have it. But this is pretty cool. This allows you to record all the sessions that are happening on your website so you can see, physically actually see where people are getting stuck or abandoning your website or not following through with a purchase, right? It's great when you can have analytical clicks. Okay, they clicked here, they clicked there, right? But if you're like me, I want to see what's going on. I want to see where were they on the website? What were they doing? Why did they get stuck there, right? And I am a very visual person, so I love that Vyntris allows me to actually replay what was happening on that particular user who was on the website. I can see the session, right? So again, another feature of Vyntris is adding value to your SEO tracking platform without increasing the price. And that's key. So you're getting all these extra things. Schema scanner, scanning your website schemas every single week. And there's a reason for that. Schemas change. Things get added. Things get taken out or depreciated, right? So Schema Scanner, make sure that your website stays compliant with what's going on in schema, in the world of schema, right? Which we both know is very big for SEO tracking and for AI visibility, right? So there's a dedicated scanner for that. And Visibility Vitals, I think everybody pretty much has this. This is a scanner that goes through your website and scans the health of your website. I will tell you, Vyntris does it a little bit different. They are going to scan your website. It's going to tell you what's wrong with your website, but it's going to tell you what's wrong with your website in context. And that means that if you're tracking a certain phrase, it's going to tell you why that phrase is being hurt by your website, right? Or if that phrase is being helped by your website. And I think that's really important that we keep things in context here, right? So that way, somebody can say something's bad with your website, right? And I'm sure there's other websites you can go onto all the time that are coming up number one, and there's tons of errors all over them. Well, the reason for that is, not every error is going to actually hurt your visibility, right? So the visibility vitals here inside of Vyntris, that's what it does. It's going to pinpoint what's actually hurting your growth, hurting your visibility, right? So take a look at that. I think these other platforms have something similar to that where they scan your website. I think they have some limitations. Yeah, crawl limits and credits. There is none of that when it comes to Vyntris. And also, again, I think I mentioned this earlier, there's no limit on teams. You can keep adding as many team members as you need to your website, and there's no additional seat charge. There's no user charge, right? Where some of these have user charges, right? You're paying additional $45 for every teammate that you add to your site for tracking. Same with Ahrefs. And I'm not sure about SE ranking, if they're going to start charging per seat. But again, I would dig into that. That can really hurt you because you can't be the only one monitoring your AI, your visibility, and your analytics and your Google rankings. You need help. And you need to be able to add people to your team because it's a very competitive market out there. And a lot of things are going on in this industry, right? And having helpers helps. So that's one thing I do really like about Vyntris is, again, it allows you to adjust what you need to track, gives you all these extra tools for real decision making, and doesn't charge you every time you need to add an additional user to help you out with what you have going on. Now, we have a lot of other videos out there that deep dives into Vyntris. I recommend taking a look at that because this is just a surface look to show you, kind of an apples to apples, a realistic comparison in pricing. And it's really important that you understand that you're not going to pay for a bunch of stuff you don't need. And that's kind of what we want to make sure that you understand, is that you shouldn't have to pay some high monthly rate for stuff that just sounds really great in theory, but if you're not actually using it, right? So Vyntris will let you pay for only what you're using, which again, I really like, I really enjoy. Please take a look at it, have a look at it, guys. And if you have any questions, just let us know.